What's going on? Today is January 19th, 2023. This is the 19th video documenting my journey to becoming an entrepreneur. Today, that's the thing. I said I was going to get rid of these filler words. But today was high and lows. There it goes again. The high was, well, actually, to start with the valley was, it seemed like the deal that I was working on with regards to my first business deal as a business broker was going to fall apart. And then there were a turn of events to where it peaked, and now they still want to put in an offer. So we'll see if that happens within the next 24 to 48 hours. And it's weird because it's as if the way my mind was today reflected in the real world. Like when I felt like, but I was fighting it. I didn't want to be in a mental valley. Then it was like valley circumstances started to present themselves in the world. Like I became more cognizant of that. But when I pulled myself up and I said to myself, I'm not going to have any attachments to the results, whether it doesn't go through. There was no, I won't be disappointed because there was no expectation. And if it does go through, I will not be overly excited. I'll be thankful because there was no expectation. But as I started to pull myself up out of that valley, then it was like everything around me started to peak again. And then I end up getting a phone call saying, hey, we're back on. It was the weirdest. It felt like it was a manifestation of that documentary that came out in the early 2000s called The Secret. And I would say that I'm on board with that. Like your thoughts or your reality. And as I started earlier with this vlog, what you plant in your mind, that seed, it's going to bear that fruit. Eventually, it will sprout. And it's the same way with our thoughts. When we put these thoughts here, that's what we see. That becomes, our environment ends up becoming the fruit of our mental state. And I also learned today, I played a couple of games of chess this morning, and I learned something about myself that I almost quit. It was in the early game, and I lost. And when I say early game, we're talking like the first 5 moves. I had lost my queen already, and I was going to resign. But I didn't for whatever reason. And this is 2 games back to back, not against the same person, 2 different players. And I was going to resign each time, but I stayed in it. And I end up winning in the end. And I taught myself the lesson that sometimes you think that your most powerful piece is your most valuable asset. But the truth be told, it's your perseverance, it's your tenacity, it's your drive, it's your determination to win that is your most valuable asset. So it has nothing necessarily to do with the tools that you have, which in my case, I thought that I lost the most powerful tool on the board, but that wasn't the case. The most powerful tool was my willpower, my desire to want to win. And I end up winning in both games that I thought that I should have resigned without question. And I say that to encourage you as well, that it may not seem that you have the best tools around you. You may feel like that you've lost a tool because you may have had a subscription to a service that you thought you needed for your business. But for whatever reason, financially, you can't afford that right now. You don't have to have it to win. I don't have the greatest setup when it comes to these YouTube videos. I understand that. But it will not always be the case. But that doesn't mean that I can't start winning now. And I found that to be very encouraging, not just for, to share with you all, but, for myself ultimately. And it taught me a very valuable lesson. You don't give up. If you really want it that bad, you will not give up. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful for that. So with that, what I plan to start doing with these videos is I'm going to put out action, I don't want to call them action items, but things that if you wanted to follow along with regards to, hey, I would like to build a business of my own along with Isaiah, then I'll put out things that I think that are important or what I'm doing in the steps of the process that I'm in. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for right now. I don't want to just start rambling, talking for the sake of talking, but I really appreciate everyone's support that's hung out with me so far. If you have any suggestions on what I could do to make the channel better, I know my background is not the hottest right now, but I got 3 children and it's a battlefield out there. So the general, my wife, she's out there right now, keeping everybody in order for the most part. But if there's any suggestions that you guys may have, any encouragement, any recommendations on books or anything like that, please drop them in the comments or shoot me a message. I really appreciate it. So thank you all for your time. If you could, if the content that I'm putting out, if it's interesting to you, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that, okay, somebody is at least enjoying it. And if you care to follow my journey, over the next remainder of this year to see where do I end up, please hit the subscribe button, because every single day I'm gonna put something out. But it is my duty and my goal to improve these videos as I go. So this is also going to be something that I'll look back on. I know I'm going to cringe, but to see where I come from. Right now I'm at the base of the mountain and things seem to be going really slow. But that's how it is with every marathon, every race. You know, you start off really, sometimes some people start off a little fast and they burn out a lot quicker. But I'm starting off at a slow pace, catching my rhythm, getting my breathing. And once I find that pace, then we're off to the races. So thanks again for coming through. Keep the mind tuned to a positive frequency. I'll see you on tomorrow.